This story happened a few years back, when I was still in college, working a part-time job as a late-night delivery driver for a local restaurant. It was a pretty quiet town, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone and nothing much ever happens. That's probably why what I'm about to tell you has stuck with me so clearly all these years. It was a Tuesday night, close to midnight, and I was on my last delivery of the shift. The address was on the far outskirts of town, an old farmhouse down a long, winding country road. The kind of road that's pitch black at night, with trees that lean over and almost touch, creating a dark tunnel. My GPS was spotty out there, but I eventually found the place. It was even more run down than I expected. The porch light was off, and the whole house was dark. I got a weird feeling, but I figured they were just waiting for their food. I walked up to the door and knocked, no answer. I knocked again, louder this time, nothing. I tried calling the number on the order slip, but it went straight to a disconnected tone. Great, this happens sometimes, prank orders. Annoyed, I started walking back to my car, ready to just go home. As I turned, my headlights caught something in the distance, back down the road I'd just come from. It was the faint, solitary light of an old phone booth. I hadn't even noticed it on my way in. It was one of those classic red ones, but it looked ancient, rusted, and completely out of place on this deserted road. I remember thinking, who even uses a phone booth anymore? Still, I felt this strange pull to check it out. Maybe my phone had no signal, but that one might work, and I could call my boss to let him know about the failed delivery. My car was low on gas, and the thought of getting stranded out here was not appealing. So, I drove the short distance back and parked next to the booth. The light inside was flickering, casting long, dancing shadows. The glass was grimy and cracked in several places. Hesitantly, I pushed the heavy door open. The air inside was stale and smelled of rust and damp earth. I picked up the receiver, and to my surprise, there was a dial tone. It was faint and crackly, but it was there. I was just about to dial my boss's number when I heard a soft tapping sound. Tap, tap, tap. It was coming from outside the booth. I glanced through the dirty glass and saw a figure standing in the road, just outside the reach of the booth's light. It was a woman. She was wearing a long, old-fashioned white dress that looked almost like a nightgown. Her hair was long and dark, covering most of her face. She just stood there, motionless, tapping one finger against her leg. I couldn't see her face clearly, but something about her posture felt wrong, unnatural. I hung up the phone, my heart starting to pound. My first thought was that she needed help. Maybe her car broke down. I slowly pushed the door open a crack. Hey, are you okay? Do you need some help? She didn't answer. She just stopped tapping and slowly lifted her head. Even in the dim light, I could see her eyes. They were wide and dark, and they were fixed directly on me. A chill ran down my spine that had nothing to do with the night air. I let the door swing shut and fumbled to lock it, but the lock was broken. Panic started to set in. I can call someone for you if you need, I said, my voice shaking a little. She took a slow step forward, then another. She moved with this weird, jerky motion like a puppet on strings. As she got closer to the booth, the flickering light inside illuminated her face. It was pale, almost translucent, and her expression was completely blank. But it was her mouth that terrified me. It was stretched into a wide, unnatural smile. She was right outside the glass now, her face just inches from mine. I was trapped. I could feel my breath catching in my throat. She raised her hand and pressed her palm flat against the glass, right where my face was. Her hand was bony and pale, and then she started talking. But it wasn't a normal voice. It was a whisper, a dry, raspy sound that seemed to come from all around me, even though her lips weren't moving with the words. "Isn't it a lovely night?" she whispered. So quiet, so peaceful. Perfect for a long, long walk. Her smile widened, showing teeth that were too long, too sharp. I scrambled for the phone again, my hands shaking so badly I could barely dial 911. The whisper continued, getting faster, more frantic. "You look tired. You should rest. We can rest together. Just open the door. It's so cold out here. Let me in, then." She started banging on the glass, not with her palm anymore, but with her fist. The whole booth shook with each impact. Crack. A spiderweb of fractures appeared in the glass right in front of my face. I screamed, dropping the phone. The 911 operator was on the line. I could hear a distant voice saying 911, "What's your emergency?" But I couldn't answer. She was getting more violent, slamming her whole body against the booth. The metal frame groaned under the assault. The light inside flickered wildly and then went out, plunging us into near total darkness. With only the faint moonlight filtering through the trees, I could hear her laughing, a high-pitched, unhinged sound that echoed in the tiny space. I squeezed my eyes shut, bracing for the glass to shatter. Then, just as suddenly as it started, it stopped. The banging, the laughing, everything. Complete silence. I held my breath, listening. My heart was hammering against my ribs, so hard I thought it would break. After what felt like an eternity, I slowly opened my eyes. She was gone. I peered out through the cracked glass into the darkness. Nothing. The road was empty. It was like she had just vanished into thin air. I stayed huddled in that booth for what must have been 20 minutes, too terrified to move. Finally, the flashing blue and red lights of a police car appeared down the road, getting brighter and brighter. I've never been so relieved to see anything in my life. I stumbled out of the phone booth and tried to explain what happened. The two officers listened patiently, but I could see the skepticism in their eyes. They checked the area, but there were no footprints, no signs of a struggle, nothing. Just a damaged old phone booth and a terrified college kid. They probably thought I was on something or just seeing things. They followed me back to the edge of town to make sure I got there safely. I never drove down that road again. I quit that delivery job the very next day. I tried to look up old local news stories or legends about that road, but I never found anything. For a long time, I thought maybe I had imagined it, that stress and exhaustion had played a cruel trick on my mind. But then I remember the cracks in the glass. I remember that horrifying whispering voice and that too wide smile, and I know it was real. I don't know who or what she was, but I know she's still out there. So if you're ever driving on a dark country road at night and you see the lonely light of a phone booth, just keep driving. Don't stop. Don't ever stop.